Hello everybody, myself Professor Pushpa Avanti. In today's video, I am going to cover the sessions 55 and session 56. So, session 55 and 56 consisting of the derivation of the Poisson equations and also the Stokes law and effects of temperature on viscosity. See here, now we have to consider this is the solid cylinder of the fluid which is having a radius r inside hollow cylindrical surface of radius r. This is and the driving force on the cylinder due to the pressure differences, that is F equals to delta P into pi r square. The viscous drag force opposing the motion, it depends on the surface area of the cylinder. This is the length and the radius, that is F is equals to minus eta 2 pi RL dV by dr. So in an equilibrium condition of the constant speed where the net force goes to 0, then the if pressure and viscosity, the force on the viscosity is 0. The sum of the forces is 0, that is delta P into pi r square is equals to eta 2 pi RL dV by dr. So dV by dr is equals to delta P into pi r square divided by eta into 2 pi RL. So after simplifying, we will get delta P divided by 2 eta L into R. So we know that empirically that the velocity gradient it will look like this. See here, as the radius increases, the velocity is also increases. At certain point it will be decreases. So at the center here R equals to 0 and dV by dr is equals to 0. So V is its maximum distance. At the edge here, so r is equals to r, then the velocity is 0. From the velocity gradient equation above and using the empirical velocity gradient limits, an integration can be made to get an expression for the velocity. That is dV by dr is equals to delta P divided by 2 eta L into R. Rewriting this one, that is integral v to 0 to v dV delta P divided by 2 eta L, that is r to r, there is an internal radius r is, and capital R is nothing but external radius r dr. Therefore V of r is equals to delta P divided by 4 eta L. So here after integrating this one and substitute the limits, then it becomes r square minus r square. So now the equation of continuity giving the volume flux for a variable speed is dV by dt is equals to integration V dA, and substituting the velocity profile equation and the surface area of the moving cylinder. So then dV by dt is equals to, so integral V dA, then 0 to r delta P divided by 4 eta L r square minus r square 2 pi r dr. So then pi delta P divided by 2 eta L 0 to r square r minus r cube dr. So after simplifying this one, we will get pi delta P r4 divided by 8 eta L. Therefore dV by dt is equals to pi delta P r4 divided by 8 eta L is the required Poisson's equations. Now discuss about the Stokes law and also the effect of temperature on viscosity. Viscosity is nothing but it's the property of a fluid by virtue of which an internal resistance come into play when the liquid is in motion and opposes the relative motion between its different layers. Thus, it is the resistance of a fluid to flow. When the liquid flow over a flat surface, a backward viscous force acts tangentially to every layer. This force depends upon the area of the layer, that is velocity of the layer, and the distance of the layer from the surface, that is F is directly proportional to A dV by dx. Then is F equals to eta A dV by dx. Eta is nothing but it's the coefficient of viscosity of the liquid. And this Stokes law is established by an English scientist, that is George G. Stokes in the year 1819 to 1903. When a spherical body moves down through an infinite column of highly viscous liquid, it drags the layer of the liquid in contact with it. As a result, The body experiences a retarding force. Then according to Stokes' law, the viscous drag force, that is F equals to 6 pi eta rv, where r is the radius of the spherical body, v is the velocity of the spherical body. So it gives the relationship between the retarding force and also the velocity. When viscous force plus buoyant force becomes equal to force due to gravity, the net force becomes 0. So the sphere then descends with a constant terminal velocity Vt, 6 pi eta rv equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho minus sigma into z, where rho is nothing but the density of the liquid and sigma is the density of the spherical body. So now come to the effect of temperature. As the temperature of the liquid fluid increases, its velocity decreases. In the liquid, the cohesive forces between the molecules predominates the molecular momentum that transfers between the molecules. Mainly because the molecules are closely packed, means it is this reason that liquids have lesser volume than gases. The cohesive forces are maximum in solids, so the molecules are even more closely packed in them. When the liquid is heated, the cohesive forces between the molecules reduce. Thus, the forces of attraction between them reduce, which eventually reduces the viscosity of the liquid. So, the liquid used as the lubrication fluid and for number of other applications should be selected properly considering the operating temperature. At high temperatures, the liquid loses viscosity. Hence, in the engine, the fluid used for lubrication should be such that it should be able to maintain its viscosity even at high temperature. At low temperature, the viscosity of the fluid increases. Hence, in the refrigerating compressor, the fluid selected for the lubrication should be such that it is able to maintain the value of viscosity at the lowest and the highest temperatures inside the compressor. For liquids, here mu equals to mu naught divided by 1 plus alpha t plus beta t square. Mu is nothing but the viscosity of the liquid at t degree Celsius in Poise, and mu naught is the viscosity of the liquid at 0 degree Celsius, and alpha and beta are the constants. So this is about the viscosity of the liquids and effect of the temperature on the viscosity, derivation of the Poiseuille's equations and also the Stokes formula. Thank you.